let's show hole 3 here. Put the picture up here. It's 260 feet, so a little bit shorter. And I'm just going to go ahead and say, while this picture's up here, this is probably my favorite hole on the entire course. So you got, as you can see, the OB on the left side of the road coming in there. And like I said, 260, it's not a crazy distance. I'm throwing a P-walk, as you can see here. You basically just want to crest that hill and just let the disc do the work. So for me, P-walk was 100% the play. You can see there are trees on both the left side, the right side, and then one that's just a little bit to the left. So you actually still have to kind of, you can't just throw, you've actually got to hit your line the way you want to on that hole. I'm going to go ahead and say I may change it later in this discussion as we go to other holes, but I'm going to say this is probably my favorite hole on the course.
It's definitely got cool aspects to it. It's always kind of neat to go to a hole that you can't see a basket.
Yeah.
Off the tee. It's kind of cool because that adds to the challenge too. Usually you're used to being able to see, and that's the thing with me is if I can see a target, it's usually easier for me to pin it than it is to throw it blind. But I'll probably, just like Jeffrey here, I'll probably be going Takapoo, and I'd probably try to be like doing more of a shot that's kind of like a hyzer flip up the right side. That would be like a gentle flip up, and then let it kind of coast to straight. I go between a shot like that and then one that would be like a shot that you would throw with a Tui that would be like throw it on hyzer on the left side and let it flip. But throwing downhill, I try not to go too glidey because you're going to pick up so much distance.
Yeah,
so I think Takapoo's better shot.
Yeah, I think so. 260 for me, my arm, or no jokes to say here, I don't have the biggest arm. So when I step up to a 260 hole, a lot of times I'm thinking like a peka or maybe a huya, depending on the shot, But this is one of the few that at this distance, like I trusted myself with the P-walk because I'm like, I know it's going to get that glide down the hill. And I remember I actually went deep, long of the basket on it because just like you said, it just pushes and it just rolled that hill all the way down and got that flip up, just a tad bit of turn and just so yeah, I could definitely see me going back there and trying something like a Taco, but maybe a Tui. I'm a little more comfortable with the Tui.
And can I interject
No.
a line of thought just for me?
Just
for me and how I approach holes, because I see it a lot with low-level players. I'm not saying I'm a great player by any means, but I at least try to study the game some. And a lot of people I talk to, I'll be like, why don't you throw this disc? And they'll be like, I can't throw that disc 260 feet. I'm like, you don't need to throw it 260 feet. You just need to get it to 230 or 240. Can you putt?
Yeah.
Like, start thinking to like, you don't need to actually get and park a basket. To get in the circle, if you can make a 20-foot putt, you just need to throw it 220, maybe.
Yeah.
And especially downhill, you can throw it 200 feet like of power and get to a 260 foot in the circle, 260-foot hole going downhill.
Yeah.
And people,
I remember
people don't think of that.
No, I don't. I definitely don't. And I remember you told me that when you caddied for me on that video that we did up there at the Ridge, and and you said that, and I was like, he's right. It was like, you know what I mean? It clicked with me. I'm like, that's crazy. And since then, I've been trying to have that mentality, but I'm just so comfortable with that peka, that beating peka that I have that a lot of times it's still hard for me. And I think that's just because I'm so comfortable with that. But yeah, Adam Stanton.
Oh, yeah. I've been reading his comment for a few minutes.
Yeah. I had it up there, but we were in mid-conversation. But I wanted to shout out Adam. He says, P model US all day, baby. And no matter what, you're either going 100 long or 100 short.
I've been holding in laughter reading it.
Jeffrey said, can you putt? No.
Sometimes you gotta be blunt with people. Can you putt?
What if the answer is no because I can't putt?
Then you need to be practicing.
That's true. You would think. He said he even followed up with no, I cannot. So, yeah.
No, you talking about the peka peka? I mean, there is something to somebody being super comfortable with a disc.
Mhm.
Listen, what's that boy's name? Jeffrey Silvers?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
I'm glad you said that
Kid,
because I was thinking Jeffrey Steele here was him. That's who I was
no, this
thinking
is
in
a
my
different
head.
guy.
Okay.
Jeffrey's a team guy here with us.
Okay.
Our PM guy.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Sweet.
yeah. So I got beat by Jeffrey Silvers this year, and the kid throws like 3 discs, and one of those discs is a star boss.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
infuriating to watch. Like we were tied. We tied at Rogersville, and we had to go
Yeah.
into a playoff. And the kid threw uh, probably like 40 drives at Rogersville that day with a star boss.
Comfortable, man. That's the way I feel with that peka peka. And oddly enough, I threw it in the pond at Halo not too long ago, but it trapped water underneath, and the wind pushed it to the edge, so I was
Oh
able to
my
get it back.
gosh! I
Adam
started.
knows what you're talking about, right? Adam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
He's
that
he's Go ahead, man.
he said it is infuriating. No, that day I started off the round with I went, "Hey, you're the guy that only throws a star boss, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's me." He was like 15 of the holes out here, I throw like a star boss on it, but he's like, "I've added 2 discs to the back."
I love it, dude. I think it's awesome. If you're comfortable with a disc, go for it. You know what I mean? Like you watching my
It so
videos, I'm
does.
throwing that peka peka on. Amanda could probably tell you the percentage, probably 85% of the holes, just because I know exactly what it's doing. You know?
It was nuts. Like it would be like a 120-foot approach, and he would throw like I'm gonna grab this squid, like his boss, like this on Anheuser, like
Hmm.
a putt, and you get it, and then he would go to hole 18 and throw the same disc like 400 feet, and then I'd be like,
That's awesome. He's good, man. He
yeah,
won our circuit challenge that we hosted up at Halo, so
yeah. Oh,
he's
yo,
good.
Jeffrey talking about Boat McQuaid's. I hope I say that dude's name right. Pekka, the Pekka Pekka lover.
Yeah,
Dude, that guy cracks me up on
he's awesome.
his videos with his point of POV,
I know.
just putting a Pekka Pekka.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world are you doing? It
The
went
day
in.
that I the day that I got my first official RPM ace was with the Pekka Pekka, and it was a short hole, but it was the first throw, and it went it went in the basket. So I'm like, I normally throw a 2E on that hole, and I ace it with a Pekka Pekka. So I'm like, ooh, but I counted. But that day that I aced with that Pekka Pekka, like he got an ace with his Pekka Pekka that day as well, and commented on
Oh,
my post.
really?
I'm like, this dude's insane. Jonathan Pickle. That's how I feel with the Star Destroyers comfy. Hey man, Pickle can throw them Star Destroyers. Like I actually watched a video last week or earlier this week when me, Pickle, Jerry, and Jacob Standridge played at the Claytons, and I was just admiring
Oh,
some of
yeah.
Pickle's shots. Like man, he knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
well, all
We
right,
got to
I
get
guess.
around to him.
Yeah, we definitely do. Pickle, we're going to get around with you for sure soon. He's feeling under the weather this week, unfortunately. He told me earlier this week. So, um, any final comments on what were hole three before we go to
Uh,
hole four?
this is one of the ones I think is kind of cool on the course. I don't know right yet if it's one of like my favorite one, but I'd say it is a cool hole. It's
Hmm.
a cool one to play. I like elevation being brought into a shot because it makes you think multiple ways instead of just a distance. You got to make a
Yeah,
decision on power and stuff. So I think this is a cool hole. I like it.
yeah, I love it. I mean, as it stands now, I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, that hole three's so far my favorite hole on the course. Jeffrey Steele says, we're 210 feet out with 11 mile per hour tailwind and OB long. I'm going with my ESP new. Hey, I feel you. I mean, it's that, just like I said, that
Full
comfortability.
flex.
Yeah, full flex. That and actually might take me a full flex to get a nuke to 210. But let's move on to hole number 4.